welcome. Excuse the wind, it's absolutely blowing a gale, and I'm here next to a Lotus Elise. This ain't no ordinary Lotus Elise, no, this one's the Macau edition. Hasn't it got like some racist British name? Yeah. What's it called? Old English. Wow, Old English White, that's what it's called. Anyway, let me talk to you about this car. It's got a 1.6 litre naturally aspirated motor. It makes 143 horsepower, but the car is 876 kilograms. Now, that might not sound like a lot, but the power to weight ratio is really, really good. In fact, 0 to 60 happens in 6 seconds, and you can pick one of these up for 20 grand. So, is it any good? Well, let's find out. But before we do that, please subscribe, hit the bell notification icon to check out for more content like this. Let's go for a drive, but before I do go for a drive, let's talk about today's sponsor, which is Y-Foods. Now, Y-Food is basically science mixed with food. If you're the sort of person that travels a lot, don't eat that much, not a protein drink, but something that gives you the right nutrients. So you can have one of these bottles and it would be the equivalent of having a meal. It's quite handy for when you're on the move, a bit like me right now. You can have these in either strawberry, vanilla, banana, my favourite one's the banana, and you can also have it in a little shaker bottle as well too. If you don't want to go for the bottles, you can also go for the sachet versions, and when you purchase one, you do get yourself one of these shaker bottles. You just basically put powder in like you would do with a protein drink. Go check the link down below and use the discount code SID10 for your discount. Anyway, back to the review of the Lotus Elise. As you can hear, it's quite loud in here. This is the most exciting 143 horsepower I've found. It revs to nearly 7,000 RPM, and you know what? It rewards you. It's no different to any other Elise I've driven really, except this one is more of a road car than it is the track focus version, but you can also use it on track as well. I've now spent a couple 100 miles driving it, and immediately it's standard Lotus good. The steering is direct. You've got tons of feedback. You know exactly what's going on with the front wheels. And even though it's an old school setup, it immediately reacts to your smallest of inputs. They are just lightweight, small, nimble, and just good fun to drive. And this one being the entry-level version with only 143 horsepower, and it's got a 1.6 litre Toyota engine, is by modern day standards isn't the fastest version of the lot. It's not an Exige, it's not an Exige S or anything like that, but the reason why I'm driving it is because you can pick a car like this up, a 2014 car with relatively low miles, under 10,000 miles, for as much as £20,000. Now in my book, that's not bad money at all. The Elise has been around, well, for as long as my existence, 23 years, and it's obviously got this lightweight shell with this composite glued aluminium body with fiberglass and whatnot, and obviously makes the car extremely light. This version is 876 kilograms. It's not the lightest of the lot compared to ones in the previous past, but being a Lotus, this is also the most durable and reliable one as well too, and it's also the most eco-friendly. You can get 40 miles to the gallon out of one of these, and if you fill the tank up, the 43 litre tank in this, you get 500 miles, but who cares about that? The owner has had a few bits done to it. It's got some Lotus bits, so it's got the stage 2 exhaust, and I'll tell you what, it sounds absolutely brilliant. Hate the word using absolutely, but yeah, it does sound really good. Anyway, I'm on these B roads right now, and as you can tell, it's quite loud in here, so apologies if the audio is a little bit corrupt. I'm just not good at audio. I'm sorry, I'm just not. And there's something you need to know. I've driven this car already. You can probably tell by the cutaway shots that I am wearing a different shirt. In fact, this shirt is a reverse camber shirt. Go check that out somewhere in the top right hand corner. Again, to some of the normal viewers out there, you know that I love cars that are small and lightweight and don't have much power. I love the underdogs, and this is highlighting everything that I like from a performance vehicle. And also right now I'm doing 30 miles an hour. You do feel a lot that's going on in the car. It does bounce around a little bit, The suspension is compliant the faster you go. Over certain bumps right now, it's a little bit jiggly, and refinement on the most refined car, let's be honest, you can't daily one of these. It's a bit too noisy, it's a bit too cramped. You've got enough luggage space for a little weekend away or a nice little driving road trip, but this is definitely a third or fourth car. It's not your first car, and if it is your first car, wow, you are brave. But to get one of these for £20,000, and they're not too old. 6 years old in my opinion isn't old, especially if the Elise, the difference between this and a later car isn't that much. People who see it out on the streets like it as well too. It's got a friendly face, unlike a Cayman where everybody just looks at you and think, oh, it's a Porsche, what a tosser. This is just a friendly, happy car. To be honest with you, jumping in the 1.6 143 horsepower car, I was thinking, it's probably not going to have the grunt, but I promise you, it feels way more exciting than what the numbers suggest. 127 miles an hour, like that, you can reach it on the public roads anyway. It's cool, and this top is also removable. It only takes a few seconds. It's got a couple of latches either side, and that's it. Hey presto. It's got a radio as an optional extra, and it's got a heater as an optional extra. But other than that, if you want something that's just back to basics, proper driving enjoyment, this is the car to look at. Other drawbacks, well, these door latches here, the ones that you pull to unlock it. Well, the last time I filmed this car, luckily the roof was open, and as I went to slam the door, it managed to lock itself in. Now, that would be a major issue if you had the keys left in the car and that was locked in, but hey, it's a Lotus at the end of the day. It wouldn't be without having a few foibles. There are a couple of bits of plastic interior trims where it all folds apart, but who cares? I like this car a lot.